Hey guys, took a couple of trades this morning. One on the ES, one on gold, and I wanted to do a quick recap on why I took both, when I took both, and why I got out. So the first one that I took was on ES. So you can see that sitting here on the hourly, on any chart pretty much, you can see that there's a substantial uptrend, just super strong. The bulls have just dominated this chart for the longest time, and we're getting little retracements and little pops here and there. So we've gotten a little retracement here, a little one here, and so this last move up, right, this last little pop that we got here, all I did was I took my Fibonacci retracement tool and I brought it all the way up to where it sold off. Okay, and so we've gotten excuse me. So we got some weakness out of that level, right? We came back down, we front ran the 50% and pulled back up. So I knew that those levels had some validity. Now, what's more is if we scroll down to the 1 hour chart, you can see pretty simply how we've broken through some structure and we're retesting some structure, which when you get these new highs is sometimes difficult to find. But if you're riding the trend, it doesn't have to be all that difficult. So you can see that the first level of resistance that we have, now broken turned support, sits right nicely with the 50% retracement. Now just below that we've got the 61.8 retracement, and we've also got another level that held really nice. And finally, we've got one more, and so we've got a bunch of structure around this area. And so for me, what I was looking for was an entry right around here. I wanted to see some weakness at the 50%, or some strength, I guess, right at the 50% retracement. See some bulls, which I did. That white candle right there. And then once we failed to close below it, and we got a quick spike down right to our structure, that's when I went long. So I ended up this morning. Yes, no, that's gold. Right this morning, I got long at 23.50 half. So I ended up getting long at 23.50 half, which is quite literally right off of that level, kind of right here, right where it retests out that previous low. And if we go down to a lower time frame, you can see just how well that kind of played out. It rolled down and then just gave a nice, perfect little bounce off of that level. And so from there, I was looking for my exit. And if I pull that out and also pull this trend line down, so this was the one that I based my decision off. So I'm actually going to remove this out of there. This trend line here was what I based my decision off of. Created here, established here, and then you can see that it's had a tough time closing below it, or closing above it for quite some time. And additionally, I also grabbed a Fibonacci from the high down to where I got long, and you can see that the 50% retracement lines up perfectly. So I ended up taking it from here to here, just a quick little trade, but that was enough for just under $1,700. So that was a nice quick move there. Now the other trade that I took this morning was on gold. This was a 4-hour setup, so I had this plotted out. I knew where it wanted to run. I was just sitting waiting for it to get there, and once it did, I just got above it. The 4-hour chart is gonna, it's still ready and primed. You can see it rolling over. I could still be in my futures. I took those off. I don't want to hold anything over the weekend. I don't want to hold anything going into Friday close. But pretty much what I saw was that we've got overall downtrend. Okay, we've got overall downtrend. So from this high, overall down. We haven't quite reached that level yet, but overall the trend is down. So now that we're approaching close to that level, we can start to see some bears pop in when the higher time frame charts get overbought. Now, additionally, what you can see is that from here to here, we've got up here and we've got down here. So we've got a little bit of divergence on the daily chart that's starting to pull the momentum down. Now, that's enough for me, right? So on the daily, if I can find a good spot to get in, then why not? Especially for this is perfect opportunity for Nadex, and this I'm very happy that this video is going to be posted today because there's a lot of conversation about people in chat that have full-time jobs. They're on weird hours. Well, this is the perfect opportunity for higher time frame trading, right? I've got on the 4 hour, I've got a nice level of resistance, and I've got a perfect negative 61.8 completion off of this last little move here. So I ended up getting a Nadex strike above it, and let's see, that one was Nadex strike above it. I got 123, no, 120, 1263.1 for 130. So 1263.1, I'm just above where I want where that level is, but keep in mind it's a 4 hour chart. You've got a lot of stuff pulling it down, and again, I've had a pretty decent week, so I was comfortable. I was comfortable with the futures entry too, and risking a little bit of a stop there. So I ended up getting in at 1260.8 for my futures, and I took it off right here at 1253 half. That was just under 1500. So that was, I mean, you can see I took 3 trades today. They were all stress-free and they were all pre-planned, and I was just sitting waiting. And one of them I literally just got above it and sat there. And within 10, 15 minutes after the opening bell, I was already close to dead contracts on it. And then an hour later, I was ready to pull it off for dead contracts. And same with the futures, right? I took it off right as we were getting back down towards that negative 23.6. Did not want to hold. Again, it's Friday. I don't want to hold anything going into the close, and you can see that the bulls came in and stepped in to try and pull it right back up. So I'm glad I took my profits off. But again, simple stuff. 3 trades. I'm most likely done for the week. There's no need to keep trading really, and so decently happy with the way the week went. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm going to be posting this in just a minute, but if you have any questions, let me know. Always happy to answer.